Selling on Amazon is changing fast. We're entering a new era and you're early. Right now, only a small handful of people are truly taking advantage of this opportunity in 2025. And if you're watching this, you're probably wondering, what's the best way to sell on Amazon right now? Well, let me pull back the curtain and show you exactly what's actually working. Because here's the truth. After selling on Amazon for almost a decade and doing over £20 million in sales, I can tell you with first-hand knowledge that there are a ton of outdated strategies that these gurus are pushing. And honestly, they are dead. Retail arbitrage, wholesale. I mean, sure, they can make you some money, but let's be real. Those aren't real businesses. They are just glorified side hustles. At the end of the day, you're still trading time for money. You are still building someone else's business. And most importantly, you're not building an asset. Okay? Here's the problem. The moment you stop, or a bigger seller comes in with better pricing, or the brand just randomly kicks you off the listing, guess what? You lose the listing. You lose the momentum. And if you've ever done any of those business models, you already know how unstable they can feel, right? I know because I had to shut down a business doing over 250k per month. Yeah, £250,000 per month gone. Because I didn't own the asset. I didn't control the brand. The moment things shifted, I was out. But what I'm about to share with you is different, right? It's what a small elite group of sellers are doing right now to flip the script. They're not just selling all and any products. They are building brands. They are creating real sellable assets. Assets that grow without them. Assets that can be scaled, automated, and eventually sold for life-changing exits. This is what's working in 2025 and for the next years to come. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the strategy so that you can see how to create real freedom and wealth through Amazon. Okay, so let's break down a few key strategies that will completely shift the way that you approach e-commerce and Amazon especially. First, let's talk about the marketplace. Yes, we are talking about Amazon. But don't get it twisted, okay? Amazon isn't the only thing that we do. Yes, Amazon is the foundation of the business. It's the biggest marketplace in the world. And if you're not on it, well, you're missing out. Here's why. Amazon gives you 3 massive advantages that 99% of other business models cannot compete with. Number 1, leverage. You get to plug into Amazon's billion-dollar infrastructure. They handle the fulfillment, the shipping, the warehousing, the customer service, pretty much everything. All you have to do is focus on building your brand. Number 2, built-in traffic. Millions of people search on Amazon every day with buying intent. You don't have to convince them. They are already there, ready to purchase. They've got their wallets in their hands, right? And number 3, scalability. Once you have a winning product and you have the right systems, it's rinse and repeat. You can scale to 6 or even 7 or even 8 figures faster than you think. Now let's talk about your product, because this is where most people get wrong. At the end of the day, one of the most important, if not the most important thing that determines your success as a business owner is this: how much profit you actually make per product. It sounds simple, right? But this is the piece that separates people who struggle from people who grow their businesses successfully. You need high margin products, meaning you buy low, you sell high, and you keep a solid chunk in between. And trust me, after everything I've built and everything I've learned, when you start with high margin products, everything gets easier. Why? Because this one decision affects everything else in your business. Your cash flow improves. You have room for ad spend. you can handle competition, and most importantly, you're not constantly stressed, right? Tight margins equals tight growth. Healthy margins equals freedom. So how do we actually go about finding these high margin products? And what do we need to think about when creating them? Now, there are a few key principles that you must follow. And let me be clear, we are not talking about cheap, unbranded, generic pieces of junk. And if you've seen any videos from any other guys, you know the type, right? The gurus who tell you, buy some spatula from China for $2 and then flip it on Amazon for $19 and look at that profit, right? They'll say, look, it's doing 400k a month, so it's easy. No, that's not a business. That's not a brandable product. That's a rat race to the bottom. They are just selling you a lie. This is what actually works in 2025. A high quality product that solves a specific problem, that does its job flawlessly. Okay? That's the foundation. Let me repeat it. A high quality product that solves a specific problem, that does its job flawlessly. That's the foundation. You're not just selling stuff, you are selling solutions. Okay, so I want you to think about it like this. If someone buys your product, what specific pain point are you helping them overcome? So, what outcome are you helping them achieve? The clearer the answer is, the stronger your product will perform. And when you combine a high quality, problem solving product with a market that actually has a demand, right? Meaning people actually want to buy the product and they do buy it, right? But it's not overcrowded. So there's not so many different people selling the same product. That's when things start to click. You want to enter a space where there's room for you to make your mark. So this is where you would look for markets that are growing steadily, that are consistent over time, that are not flooded with 10,000 identical copycat products, right? We are not chasing hype. We are not selling fidget spinners, hoverboards, or whatever the flavor of the month product is. What we are after is long-term demand. Products in niches that have loyal buyers who come back again and again and again. Products that actually improve someone's life, right? And here's the key. They need to have a little wow factor, because that's how you build a high value brand that lasts. There needs to be something about your product that makes it stand out, that makes people want to buy it at an instant. And when it comes to marketing that product, your product should be easy to market, especially with short form video. We are living in the era of virality. TikTok, Reels, Shorts. This is where products explode. So when you are choosing what to sell, you need to think, can this product perform well on camera? And can I easily create scroll stopping videos around it? Because if you can, you open the door to massive awareness, organic reach, and fast growth without spending thousands and thousands of pounds on paid ads. As a result, you unlock a low-cost, high-reward marketing engine. You don't need to spend thousands and thousands of pounds on ads to validate your product idea. One good TikTok can bring in thousands of eyeballs and potential sales. So choose a product that has visual appeal, that shows transformation, or it solves a visible problem, that can be demoed, explained, or let's say reacted to in under 30 seconds. Once you've got that product, the next thing you want to focus on is branding. And this is what most e-com sellers skip, or they rush it. And that's why they lose. If you want to win on Amazon, if you want to win in e-commerce in general, you have to stand out. And branding is how you do that. A good rule of thumb is improve the product by at least 10%. So that could mean improving the functionality. adding features based on customer pain points. You can do things like upgrading the materials or improving the packaging, or you could bundle that product with something that complements it, right? So a complementary product. So the key thing is, like I mentioned before, solving one specific frustration better than anyone else. That's the key in this business. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to make it smoother. And the way you can do that is literally by 10%. So a 10% edge in your product can be the difference between a listing that sits on page 7 and a listing that dominates page 1 and builds loyal customers. And the difference in those two is that a product that sits on page 1 could potentially get you 500 or thousands of sales. A product on page 7 is going to get you maybe 50 or under that, right? So when you combine that product and you improve it and you have clean branding and a premium look, now you've got leverage. Now you're not just selling a random product, you are selling an experience. And part of that experience is how shoppers find and buy your product, especially on Amazon. From the moment they search to landing on your product to clicking buy now, that entire journey matters. Here's the key point. Amazon is no longer the entire business. You see, in the past, sellers built everything around Amazon and then they had zero control, right? So in 2025, Amazon is just a tool. It's the launchpad, right? It's the foundation of your business, but it's not the end game. However, your Amazon foundation still has to be solid. So your listing must do two things. It must attract the right shoppers and it must convert those shoppers into buyers. You need clean, premium images, right? So your images should tell the story at a glance, right? And you can do that by using real life settings. So you can highlight the features and you can show the benefits of that product. There's a saying, and I'm sure most of you have heard it, a picture isn't just worth 1,000 words. It's worth 1,000 sales. So moving on, you need strategic SEO. If Amazon doesn't understand your product, no one will ever find it, right? So that's where you use strategic keyword search engine optimization. You use relevant keywords in your title, your bullet points, and the back end of your listing, and pretty much everywhere. What this does is it helps you get higher in the search results, and as a result, you get seen by more people searching for what product you offer, right? So talking about traffic, without traffic, even the best product in the world won't sell because no one's seeing your product. And there are two core ways of driving traffic to your Amazon listing. You have paid and you have organic. So number one, paid traffic through Amazon PPC. This is basically where you set up ads or campaigns directly inside Amazon's platform, targeting keywords that are relevant to your product. So let's say, for example, you're selling a vegan protein powder. You can target phrases like plant-based protein, vegan supplements, or something like clean protein, right? So a search term that someone who buys this product may use to find it. Now, when someone uses one of those keywords and searches for those terms on Amazon, what happens is, because you have the ads there, your product shows up right at the top of the search results, in front of those people who are ready to buy, who have their wallets in their hand. So what that basically does is it gives you instant visibility and it gives your business some traction. The second way is through organic brand awareness via social media, so TikTok and creators. This is where the biggest shift in e-commerce is happening right now. In 2025, TikTok is what you can say the new front door to discovery. It's where people find new products that they've perhaps never heard of, and then they fall in love with them, and then they go searching it to buy. right? Most likely they go onto Amazon because they trust that platform. So with social media, you have two powerful options. You can use creators, so you can send your product to people who are content creators and you can let them make authentic and engaging videos around it. So with their audience, you get that instant trust, and as a result, you can have massive reach to your product. Or the second option is that you can do it yourself. You can start posting short, simple videos showing off your product, solving problems, or showcasing transformations, right? And with this, I mean, you don't need to go viral. The best part is that you can link those videos directly to your Amazon listing. So when someone sees your video and thinks, I like that, I want it, they go right to Amazon to buy. And what happens is when more people search your product name or your name plus the search term, right? For example, they can search vegan protein powder, or they can search Adam's vegan protein powder. What happens is Amazon boosts your product ranking even more. So as a result, they push your product higher because people trust Amazon and that's why they go there. Even if they discover you on TikTok, what happens a lot of the time is they still go to Amazon to check the reviews and then they maybe go ahead and buy. That's how external traffic can fuel your entire Amazon growth. And this is the cycle. You build awareness, you build community, you build momentum around that. And from there, you can then even launch your own website. You can drive traffic directly to that website, right? And when you do that, you can then own the customer relationship. So what's happened is you've got customers who saw you on TikTok, who perhaps bought off you on Amazon, and now they've come back to buy from your website. This is how you take control, right? Because now you're not just building a single product, you're building a brand, right? And there you have it. I've just given you the blueprint to build a multi-million-pound brand on Amazon. Not a side hustle, not a quick flip, here's £500, you've just made £250 as a flip. No, you've built a real business. You've built a real asset. You've potentially built something worth 6 figures and you've still made money in the process. So you've made passive income and now you could potentially make life-changing income. If you were doing wholesale or you were doing retail arbitrage, right? Buying products from different websites and different stores, you'd still be scanning barcodes, calling new suppliers up, chasing the next shiny product. But now you've got a system. You've seen the strategy, and this is a path to freedom and wealth. And if you're serious about building this for yourself, right? And if you want to work directly with me and my team, so we can literally handhold you step by step through the entire process, from finding the right product to launching it the right way, to building a brand that generates life-changing income, then click the link in the description. We'll show you exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it so that you don't waste your precious time, your precious money, or your precious energy on the wrong things, right? So go ahead, click the link below, book a call, and either myself or a member of my team will jump on to see if we are a good fit. But either way, I wish you all of the success on your journey. And as always, thank you very much for tuning in to the end, and I'll see you in a few days.